He who has the right to live can bear with almost anyhow. Hmm. Keys to higher sense of purpose, not that of our parents, friends, or my husband. Keys to human nature. In the world today, we humans face a particular predicament. As soon as our schooling ends, we suddenly find ourselves thrown into the work world. As soon as our schooling ends, we suddenly find ourselves thrown into the work world. We suddenly find ourselves thrown into the work world where people can be ruthless and the competition is fierce. Only a few years before, if we were lucky, our parents met many of our needs and were there to guide us. In some cases, they were overprotective. Now we find ourselves on our own. In some uh, in some cases, they were overprotective. Now we find ourselves on our own. With little or no life experience to rely upon, we have to make decisions and choices that will affect our entire future. We will have to make decisions and choices that will affect our entire future. In the not so distant past, people's career and life choices were somewhat limited. They would settle into the particular job or roles available to them and stay there for decades. Certain older figure, mentors, family member, religious leader could offer some direction if needed. But such stability and help is hard to find today. As the world changes even more quickly, everyone is caught up in the hard struggle to make it. People have never been so preoccupied with their own needs and agendas. The advice of our band might be totally antiquated in this new order. Facing this unprecedented state of affair, we tend to react in one of two ways. Some of us, excited by all the challenges, actually embrace this new order. We are young and full of energy. The somber gas board of opportunities offered by the digital world dazzle us. We can experiment, try many different jobs, have many different relationships and adventurous commitment to a single career or person feel like unnecessary restriction on this freedom. Obeying order and listening to authority figure is old fashioned. Better to explore, have fun, and be open. A time will come when we will figure out what exactly to do with our lives. In the meantime, maintaining the freedom to do as we wish and go where we please become our maintain and where we please becomes our main motivation. Some of us, however, react the opposite way. Frightened of the chaos, we quickly opt for a career that is particle and lucrative, hopefully related to some of our interests. But not necessarily we settle on an intimate relationship. We may even continue to cling to our parents. What motivates us is to somehow establish an stability that is so hard to find in this world. Both paths, however, tend to lead to some problem further down the road. In the first case, trying so many things out, we never really develop solid skill in one particular area. We find it hard to focus on a specific activity for too long because we are so used to flitting around and distracting ourselves, which makes it doubly hard to learn new skill if we want to. Because of this, our career to another, we might we might now want a release. Because of this, our career possibilities begin to narrow. We become trapped into moving from one job to another. we become trapped into moving from one job to another. We might now want a relationship that lasts, but we haven't developed the tolerance for compromise, and we cannot help the betrayal and the restriction to our freedom. But that a lasting relationship will present. Although we might not like to admit it to ourselves, our freedom can begin to wear on us. Hi everyone. Hello. How are you? I'm good. How are you all? And from which state you are from? You guys also mention your states so that I will know that you belong to which state or which country. Basically, I am from Bengal. And you guys were? How old I am? Basically 50. I'm 50-year old. Hi. In the second case, the career we committed to in our 20s might begin to feel a bit lifeless in our 30s. We committed in our 20s might begin to feel a bit lifeless in our 30s. We choose it for a practical purpose and it has little connection to what actually interests us in life. It begins to feel like just a job, our mind disengaged from the work, and now the small gas board of opportunities in the world begin to tempt us as we reach midlife. Perhaps we need some new exciting career or relationship or adventure. In either case, we do what we can to manage our frustration. But as the years go by, we start to experience bouts of pain that we cannot deny or repress. We are generally unaware of the source of our discomfort. We are generally unaware of the source of our discomfort, the lack of purpose and true directions in our lives. This pain comes in several forms. We feel increasingly bored, not really engaged in our work. We turn to various distractions to occupy our restless mind. But by the law of diminishing return, we need to continually find new and strong forms of diversion. The latest trend in entertainment, travel to an exotic location, a new guru or cause to follow, hobbies that are taken up and abandoned quickly, addiction of all kind, only when we are alone or in down moment do we actually experience the chronic boredom that motivates many of our action and eats away at us. We feel increasingly insecure. We all have dream and a sense of our own potential. If we have wandered aimlessly through life or gone astray, we begin to become aware of the discrepancy between our dreams and reality. We have no solid accomplishment. We feel envious of those who do. Our ego becomes brittle, placing us in a trap. We are too fragile to take criticism. Learning Learning requires an admission that we don't know things. Learning requires an admission that we don't know things and need to improve, but we feel too insecure to admit this, and so our ideas become set and our skill stagnate. We cover this up with an air of certainty and strong opinion or moral superiority, but the underlying insecurity cannot be shaken. We often feel anxious and stressed, but are never quite certain as to why. Life involves inevitable obstacles and difficulties, but we have spent much of our time trying to avoid anything painful. Perhaps we didn't take any responsibilities that would open us to failure. We steered Perhaps we didn't take any responsibility that would open us to failure. We steered clear of tough choices and stressful situation, but then they crop up in the present. We are forced to finish something by a deadline. We suddenly become ambitious and want to realize a dream of ours, or we suddenly become ambitious and want to realize a dream of ours. We have not learned in the past how to handle such situation, and the anxiety and the anxiety and stress overwhelm us. We have not learned in the past how to handle such situation, and the anxiety and stress overwhelm us. Our avoidance leads to a low grade continual anxiety. Our avoidance leads to a low grade continual anxiety, and finally we feel depressed. All of us want to believe that there is some purpose and meaning to our life. All of us want to believe that there is some purpose and meaning to our life, that we connected to something larger than ourselves. We want to feel some weight and significance to what we have done. Without that conviction, we experience an emptiness and depression that we will ascribe to other factors. Understand, this feeling of being lost and confused is not anyone's fault. It's a natural reaction. The feeling of being lost and confused is not anyone's fault. It's a natural reaction to having been born into times of great changes and chaos. The old support system of the past, religious and universe caused to believe in social cohesion. The old support system of the past, religious, universal cause to believe in social cohesion, have mostly disappeared, at least in the Western world. Disappearing also are the elaborate convention, rules, and taboos that once channeled behavior. We are all cast adrift. We are all cast adrift, and it is no wonder that so many people lose themselves in addiction and depression. Yeah, definitely. And it's no wonder that so many people lose themselves in addiction and depression. No, this one lose themselves. Addiction and depression. Lose themselves in addiction and depression. The problem here is simple. By our nature, we humans have crave a sense of direction. Other living organisms rely upon elaborate instinct to guide and determine their behavior. We have come to depend upon our consciousness, but the human mind is a bottomless pit. It provides us with endless mental space to explore. Our imagination can take us anywhere and conjure up anything. At any moment, we could choose to go in 100 different directions without belief system or convention in place. We seem to have no obvious compass point to guide our behavior and decision, and this can be maddening. Fortunately, there is one way out of this predicament, and it is by nature available to each and every one of us. There is no need to look for gurus or to grow nostalgic for the past and its certainties. A compass and guidance system doesn't exist. It comes from looking for and discovering the individual purpose to our life. It is a path taken by the greatest achiever and contributors to the advancement of human nature, and we only have to see the path to take it. Here's how it's works. Each human individual is radically unique. This uniqueness is inscribed in us in three ways: the one of a kind configuration of our DNA, the particular way our brain are wired, and our experiences as we go through life, experience that are unlike any others. Consider this uniqueness as a seed that is planted at birth with potential growth, and this uniqueness has a purpose. This is a seed that is planted at birth with potential growth, and this uniqueness has a purpose. Thank you so much. When did I say that you are a stalker? You're a girl? Very good. Let's see. What are you reading? Natalia, I'm reading. करे तो करे मुश्किल है. So, just say what are you saying? Okay, I'm idea. Hi Anand. कल ही बस लाइव नहीं आई थी, परसों आप नहीं आते, कल मैं नहीं आई थी. ओह थैंक यू सो मच आनंद. ओह ठीक है, कल से थोड़ा पहले आएंगे, सॉरी फॉर दैट. ओह आंधी आई थी. हाँ यहाँ पे भी शाम को बारिश हुई थी. कहाँ से हो आप वैसे? हाँ डेली डेली सेम टाइम पे. कभी कभार कुछ प्रॉब्लम होता है तो नहीं आते, वैसे तो रोज ही आना होता है. आज का दिन अच्छा था, कितना सुंदर बारिश हुआ ना शाम को, वेदर भी अच्छा है. In nature, in a thriving ecosystem, we can observe a high level of diversity among species. With these diverse species operating in a balance, the system is rich and feeds of itself, creating newer species and more interrelationship. Ecosystem with little diversity are rather barren, and their health is much more tenuous. We uh, we human operate in our own cultural ecosystem. Throughout history, we can see that the healthiest and most celebrated cultures have been the ones that encourage and exploited the greatest internal diversity among individuals. Ancient Athens, the Chinese Sung dynasty, the Italian Renaissance, the 1920s in the Western world, to name a few. These were periods of the tremendous creativity, high point in history. We can contrast this with the conformity and cultural sterility in dictatorship. By bringing our uniqueness to flower in the course of our life through our particular skills and the specific nature of our work, we contribute our share to this needed diversity. This uniqueness actually transcends our individual existence. It is stamped upon us by nature itself. How can we explain why we are drawn to music or to helping other people or to particular form of knowledge? We have inherited it and it is there for a purpose. Striving to connect to and cultivate this uniqueness provide us a path to follow, an internal guidance system through life. But connecting to this system does not come easily. Normally, the sign of our uniqueness are clear to us in early childhood. We found ourselves naturally. Normally, the sign of our uniqueness are clearly Normally, signs of our uniqueness are clearer to us in early childhood. We found ourselves naturally drawn to particular subject or activities, despite the influence of our parent. We can call this primal inclination. They speak to us like a voice, but as we get older, that voice becomes drowned out by parent, peers, teacher, the culture at large. We are told what to like, what is cool, and what is not cool. We start to lose a sense of who we are, what makes us different. We choose career path unsuited to our nature. We choose career path unsuited to our nature. To tap into the guidance system, we must take the connection to our uniqueness as strong as possible and learn to trust that voice. For more on this, see Discover Your Calling in Life, the next session. To the degree we manage to do so, we are richly rewarded. We have a sense of direction in the form of one overall career path that messes with our particular inclination. We have a calling. We know which skill we needed and want to develop. We know which skill we needed and we want to develop. We have goals and sub goals. When we talk detours from our path or become involved entanglement that distract us from our goals, we feel uncomfortable and quickly get back on course. We may explore and have adventures as in natural for us when we are young. But there is a relative direction to our exploring that frees us from continual doubt and distraction. वाह, झूठ भी सफाई से लाइफ क्लास चल रहा है. सेंस ऑफ ह्यूमर अच्छा है. गुड. अनुराग हम बुक पढ़ रहे हैं, ह्यूमन नेचर के ऊपर है, रॉबर्ट ग्रीन द्वारा लिखा हुआ है. एंड चैप्टर का नाम है एडवांस विद अ सेंस ऑफ पर्पस. हाय देव. अच्छा, आनंद यूपी से हो, प्रयागराज से. अच्छा, यूपी काफ़ी अच्छी जगह है. Yeah, no. Today, the same book because I, I'm not completed this book yet, na. After completing this book, I will change this book. Till then, I have to read this book, na. Or what do you expect? Daily, I bring new books. Hi, Anubhav. Thank you for the praise. Anurag, I am from West Bengal. And you are from? Bengal से, कोलकाता. ग्वालियर. ओह, ग्वालियर. वेट, ये ग्वालियर कहाँ पे होता है, कौन सी स्ट्रीट में है? मुझे नाम सुनी, मैं थोड़ा भूल गई हूँ. हाय गौरव. अच्छा, एमपी. हाँ, इंदौर फेमस है एमपी में. थैंक यू आनंद. यस. सॉरी गौरव, आई डोंट अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट आर यू सेइंग. आगरा की तरफ ग्वालियर है. ग्वालियर तो एमपी में है आनंद. अच्छा गौरव, आई एम फ्रॉम वेस्ट बंगाल एंड यू आर फ्रॉम. अच्छा ताजमहल देखने गए थे. गुड. ताजमहल तो फेमस, अच्छी जगह है. ओह कब, कोलकाता कब आए थे. हाँ थैंक यू गौरव. You are from Gurgaon. Gurgaon. Can you mention your state also? I heard this names, but I forgot the states. So it's better you guys also mention your states. Gurgaon. 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 I forgot. Delhi. Oh, Delhi, Gurgaon. Yeah. Now this is better to understand for me. ढिंचक पूजा स्ट्रीम में हम कुछ थोड़ा चिट चैट और उसके बाद पढ़ाई. तो पढ़ाई के बीच में थोड़ी बातें. वाह आनंद सब जा गए हो. हाय कृष्णा. ढिंचक पूजा कब इग्नोर किया, हम तो बोले कि पढ़ाई के बीच में थोड़ा बातें. सपना क्यों देख रहे हो, ऐसा क्या हो गया. अनुराग, आई एम प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर समथिंग. ओह एल्विस के घर के पास है. गुड. तब तो सिस्टम अच्छा ही होगा आपका, है ना. Why do I do bad stuff? राम राम कृष्णा, कैसे हो आप. चल रही है, अभी नहीं बताएंगे, बाद में बताएंगे. एक बार हो जाए तब बताएंगे. आनंद कोलकाता से है. फेमस कोलकाता, सिटी ऑफ जॉय. थैंक यू प्रैंक. अच्छा आप आ सको, कोलकाता बहुत दूर है. अच्छा पहले आप मिलते थे, अभी बिजी रहता है. हाँ बिग बॉस के बाद तो उसको काफ़ी फेम मिला है ना. मुझे वो बिग बॉस में ही सही लगता था, उसके बाद से नहीं. और मुझे देख के ममता बनर्जी याद आती है. हाँ आनी भी चाहिए, बंगाल से थी ना. गुड. वैसे अच्छी लेडी है. उतनी बुरी नहीं है। नहीं प्रैंक मैं जिम नहीं करती, मैं जिम वगैरह अच्छे नहीं लगते। सही बोले श्रेयांश। हाँ हाँ, वैसी वैसी टाइप में आ रही है। सही बोले। कुछ भी लिखते हो। इश, क्या सब। हाँ बिग बॉस में उसका, अभिषेक का और मनीषा का कितना अच्छा बॉन्डिंग था ना। उसके बाद तो बाप रे, मुझे अभिषेक ज़्यादा पसंद है अरविंद से ज़्यादा। अरविंद थोड़ा अभी मुझे उतना सही लगता है। वो मुझे बस बिग बॉस में बहुत अच्छा लगा था। उसके बाद हाँ। थैंक यू कृष्णा, ये आप मुझे बोल चुके हो पहले। थैंक यू अ लॉट। ये हो चुका है। हम्म, कहाँ कंपेयर करते हो। वैसे आप लोग भी अच्छा, तभी इतनी प्यारी प्यारी कमेंट करते हो। This path does not require that we follow one simple line or that our inclination be narrowly focused, but as we feel the pull of several types of knowledge. Our path involves mastering a variety of skills and combining them in highly inevitable and creative ways. This was the genius of Leonardo da Vinci, who combined his interest in art, science, architecture, and engineering. Having mastered each one of them, this way of following the path goes well with our modern elastic taste and our loves of wide exploration. When we engage this internal guidance system, all of the negative emotions that plague us in our aimlessness are naturalized and even turn around into positive ones. For instance, we may feel boredom in the process of accumulating skills. Practice can be tedious, but we can embrace the tedium knowing of the tremendous benefit to come. We are learning something that excites us. We do not crave constant distraction. Our mind are pleasantly absorbed in the work. We develop the ability to focus deeply, and with such focus, and with such focus comes momentum. We retain what we absorb because we are engaged emotionally in learning. We then learn at a faster rate, which leads to creative energy. With a teaming with fresh information, ideas begin to come to us out of nowhere. Reaching such creativity reveals in intensely satisfying, and it becomes even ever easier to add new skill to our repertoire. repertoire. With a sense of purpose, we feel much less insecure. We have an overall sense that we are advancing, realizing some or all of our potential. We can begin to look back at various accomplishments, some small or large. We got things done. We may have moment of doubt, but they are generally related more to the quality of our work than to our self worth. Did we do our best job, focusing more on the work itself and it's itself than on what people think of us? We can distinguish between practical and malicious criticism. We have an inner resilience which help us bounce back from failure and learn from them. We know who we are, and this self awareness become our anchor in life. With this guidance system in place, we can turn anxiety and stress into productive emotion. In trying to reach our goals, a book, a business, winning a political campaign, we have to manage a great deal of anxiety and uncertainty. Making daily decisions on what to do. In the process, we learn to control our levels of anxiety. If we think too much about how far we have to go, we might feel overwhelmed. Instead, we learn to focus on a smaller goal along the way while also retaining a degree of urgency. We develop the ability to regulate our anxiety enough to keep us going and keep improving the work, but not so much as to paralyze us. This is an important life skill. Yes. कैसी बात है. Thank you, bassist. Thank you for the lovely compliment. Thank you, Gaurav. Thank you, Anna. Thanks. Thanks a lot. Gaurav, it's better to not ask with me. Ask me. You search on ChatGPT. They will guide you better, na? आनंद क्या लिखो समझ नहीं आया. मैं कौन सी बुक रीड कर रही हूँ? सिद्धू मैं ये ह्यूमन नेचर के ऊपर ये बुक है. द लॉज ऑफ ह्यूमन नेचर बुक का नाम है और चैप्टर का नाम है एडवांस विद अ सेंस ऑफ पर्पस. ठीक है. We develop a high tolerance for stress as well, and even feed of it. We humans are actually built to handle stress. Our restless and energetic minds thrive best when we are mentally and physically active. Our adrenaline pumping. It's a known phenomenon that people tend to age more quickly and deteriorate more rapidly right after they retire. Their mind have nothing to feed on. Anxious thought return. They become less active, maintaining some stress and tension, and knowing how to handle it can improve our health. And finally, with a sense of purpose, we are less prone to depression. Yes, low moments are inevitable, even welcome. They make us withdraw and recess ourselves as they did for King. But more often we feel excited and lifted above the pettiness and so often marks daily life in the modern world. We are on a mission. We are realizing our life's work. We are contributing to something much larger than ourselves, and this ennobles us. We have moments of great fulfillment that sustain us. Even death can lose its sting. What we have accomplished within will outlive us. And we do not have that debilitating feeling of having wasted our potential. Think of it this way. In military history, we can identify two types of armies: those that fight for cause or an idea, and those that fight largely for money as a part of job. For cause or an idea, and those fight largely for money or a part of job. Those that go to war for a cause, such as the armies of Napoleon Bonaparte, fighting to spread the French Revolution, fighting with greater intensity. They are tied their individual fate to that of the cause and the nation. They are the more willing to die in battle for the cause. Those in the army who are less enthusiastic get swept up in the group spirit. The general can ask more of his soldiers, the battalion are more unified, and the various battalion leaders are more creative. Fighting for a cause is known as a force multiplier. The greater the connection to the cause, the higher the moral, which translates into greater force. Such an army can often defeat one that is much larger but less motivated. We can say something similar about your life. Operating with a high sense of purpose is a force multiplier. All of your decisions and action have greater power behind them because they are guided by a certain a central idea or purpose. The many sides to your character are channeled into this purpose, giving you more sustained energy. Your focus and your ability to bounce back from adversity give you ineluctable moment. You can ask more of yourself, and in a world where so many people are meandering, you will spring past them with ease and attract attention for this. People will want to be around you to imbibe your spirit. People will want to be around you to imbibe your spirit. Your task as a student of human nature is twofold. First, you must become aware of the primary role that a sense of purpose plays in human life. By our nature, the for purpose has a gravitational pull to it that no one can resist. Look at the people around you and gauge what is guiding their behavior, seeing pattern in their choices. Is the freedom to do what they please their primary motivation? Are they mostly after pleasure, money, attention, power for its own sake, or a cost to join? These are what we shall call false purpose, and they lead to obsessive behavior and various dead end. For more on false purpose, see the last section of this chapter. Once you identify people as motivated by a false purpose, you should avoid hiring or working with them, as they will tend to draw you downward with their unproductive energy. You will also notice some people who are struggling to find their purpose in the form of their calling in life. You will also notice some people who are struggling to find their purpose in the form of their calling in life. Purpose, you can help them. Now, perhaps you can help them or you can help each other. And finally, you may recognize a few people who have a relatively high sense of purpose. This could be someone young who seems destined for greatness. You will also want to befriend them and become unaffected with their enthusiasm. You will you will want to befriend them and become unaffected with their enthusiasm. Others will be older with a string of accomplishment to their name. You will want to associate it with them in any way possible. They will draw you upward. Your second task is to find your sense of purpose and elevate it by making the connection to it as deep as possible. See the next section for more on this. If you are young, use what you find to give an overall framework to your restless energy. Explore the world freely, accumulate adventurous, but all within a certain framework. Most important, accumulate skill. If you are older and have gone astray, take the skills you have acquired and find ways to gently channel them in the direction that will eventually mess with your inclination and spirit. Avoid sudden and drastic career changes that are impractical. Keep in your mind that your Keep in your mind that your contribution to the culture can come in many forms. You don't have to become an entrepreneur or figure largely on the world stage. You can do just as well operating as one person in a group organization. As long as you retain a strong point of view that is your own and use this to gently exert your influence, your path can evolve physical labor and craft. You take pride in the excellence of the work, leaving your particular stamp on the quality. It can be raising a family in the best way possible. No calling is superior to another. What matters is that it be tied to a personal need and inclination, and that your energy move you toward improvement and continual learning from experience. In any event, you will want to go, so you'll want to go as far as you can in cultivating your uniqueness and the originality that goes with it. In a world full of people who seem largely interchangeable, you cannot be replaced. You are one of a kind. Your combination of skills and experience is not replicable. That represent true freedom and the ultimate power we humans can possess. That represent true freedom and the ultimate power we humans can possess. Thank you, Siddhu. Thank you for your nice compliment. बात ही नहीं करते। अच्छा, आओ हम बात करते हैं। हम पढ़ चुके हैं 2 चैप्टर। कम, लेट्स टॉक। This form means which form? Anand, bye. नहीं नहीं, आपको पागल होने की जरूरत नहीं। आप मत पढ़ो, हम पढ़ दें, ठीक है? कहाँ इंग्लिश है? ठीक है, अगली बार से हम जापानीज बुक लेके आएंगे, ठीक है? इंग्लिश बुक नहीं लाएंगे, ठीक है कुणाल? Oh, like you want to know about the purpose of life, what author thinks, no? Okay. Oh, what do you think it might be? कुणाल आपके इंग्लिश टीचर है? Oh. Originality, everything is derivated. Oh, Light, can you tell me the means of derivated? Derivatives. Hi Tarun. ये नॉर्मल बुक है ह्यूमन नेचर के ऊपर तरुण वही बुक that seems like that the subject for this that seems like that oh got it. Strategy for developing a high sense of purpose. Once you commit yourself to developing or strengthening your sense of purpose, once you commit yourself to developing or strengthening your sense of purpose, then the hard work begins. You will face many enemies and obstacles impeding your purpose, the distracting voices of others doubt, who instill doubt about your calling and your uniqueness. Your own boredom and frustration with the work itself, and your slow progress, the lack of trustworthy criticism from people to help you, the level of anxiety you must manage, and finally, the burnout then often accomplishes focus level or over long period. The following five strategies are designed to help you move past three obstacles. They are in a loose order. The first being the essential starting point. You will want to put them all into practice to ensure continual movement forward. Discover your calling in life. You begin this strategy by looking for sign of primal inclination in your earliest year. When they were often the clearest, some people can easily remember such early indication, but for many of us, it requires some introspection, for some digging. What you are looking for is moments in which you were unusually fascinated by a particular subject or certain object or specific activities and forms of play. The great 19th and early 20th century scientist Marie Curie could distinctly recall the moment when she was 4 years old and entered her father's office, suddenly mesmerized by the sight of all sorts of tubes and measuring devices for various chemistry experiments placed behind a polished glass case. Her whole life she would feel a similar visceral thrill whenever she entered a laboratory. For Anton Chekhov, it was attending his first plan in a theater as a boy in a small town. In his small town, the whole atmosphere of make believe thrilled him. For Steve Jobs, it was passing an electronics store as a child and seeing the wondrous gadget in the window. For Steve Jobs, it was passing an electronics store as a child and seeing the wondrous gadget in the window, marveling at their design and complexity. For Tiger Woods, it was at the edge of two, watching his father his golf balls into a net in the garage and being unable to contain his excitement and desire to imitate him. For the writer Jean Paul Study, it was a child fascination with printed words on a page and the possible magical meanings each word possessed. This moment of visceral attraction occurred suddenly and without any prodding from parents or friends. It would be hard to put into word why they occurred. They are a sign of something beyond our personal control. The actress Ingrid Bergman expressed it best when talking of the fascinations she had with performing in front of her father's movie camera at a very early age. I didn't choose acting, it chose me. Sometimes this moment can come when we are older, as when Martin Luther King Jr. realized his mission in life as he got pulled into the Mount Montgomery's bus boycott. And sometimes they can occur while observing other people who are master in their field. As a young man, the future Japanese film director Akira Kurosawa felt particularly aimless. He tried painting them apprentice as an assistant director on film, a job he hated. He was ready to quit when he got assigned to work for the director Kajiro Yamamoto in 1936. Watching this great master at work, suddenly his eyes were opened to the magical possibilities of film, and he realized his calling. As he later described this, it was like the wind in a mountain pass blowing across my face. By this, I mean that refreshing wind you feel after a painfully hard climb. The breath of that wind till you are reaching the pass. Then you stand in the pass and look down over the panorama and it's open up. When I stood behind Yamasan in his director's chair next to the camera, I felt my heart swell with that same feeling. I have made it at last. हम क्या पढ़ रहे हैं? ह्यूमन नेचर के ऊपर है ये बुक. बुक का नाम है द लॉज ऑफ ह्यूमन नेचर एंड चैप्टर नेम इज एडवांस विद अ सेंस ऑफ पर्पस. Montgomery. Montgomery. Oh, thank you. Right. Now you are in your role, the teacher's role. Montgomery. Like teachers say, we are pronouncing wrong. Correct. Pronounce correctly. Like you say. No. That Ruupa, not Montgomery. It's Montgomery. Thank you, teacher. That seems like that subject. Okay, got it. More. Quarterly. Montgomery. Montgomery. Okay, got it, right? Montgomery. And or Montgomery. Tell me the meaning also so that it is easy for me to understand. Montgomery. Hi, हम कहाँ गए? It's a city. Oh, city name. Understood. As another sign, examine moment in your life when certain tasks or activities felt natural and easy to you, similar to swimming with a current. In performing such activities, you have a great tolerance for the tedium of practicing. People's criticism don't discourage you so easily. You want to learn, you can contrast this with other subjects or tasks that you find deeply boring and unfulfilling, which frustrates you. Relate to this, Related to this, you will want to figure out the particular form of intelligence that your brain is wired for. In his book Frames of Mind, the psychologist Howard Gardner lists certain forms of intelligence for which people usually have one particular gift or affinity. This could be mathematics and logic, physically activity, words, image, or music. We could also add to this social intelligence, a superior sensitivity to people. When you are engaged in the activity, that feels right, it will correspond to that form of intelligence for which your brain is most suited. From this various factor, you should be able to spot the outline of your calling. In essence, in going through this process, you are discovering yourself, what makes you different, what predates the opinion of other. You are reacquainting yourself with your natural likes and dislikes. Later in life, we often lose contact with our own preference for things, deeply influenced by what others are doing and by the culture. You are subtracting such external influences. The deeper you make this connection to your calling, the more you will be able to resist the bad ideas of others. The deeper you make this connection to your calling, the more you will be able to resist the bad ideas of others. You will engage the internal guidance system. Put some time into the process. Working with a general if necessary. You are developing the habit of assessing and lighting to yourself so that you can continually monitor your progress and adjust this calling to the various stage in your life. If you are young and just starting out in your career, you will want to explore a relatively wide field related to your inclination. For instance, if your affinity is words and writing, try all the different types of writing until you hit upon the right fit. If you are older and have more experience, you will want to take the skills you have already developed and find a way to adapt them more in the direction of your true calling. Remember that the calling could be combining several fields that fascinates you. For job, it was an intersection of technology and design. Keep the process open ended. Your experience will instruct you as to the way. Do not try to bypass the work of discovering your calling or image that it will simply come to you naturally. Although it may be come to a few people early in life or in a lightning bolt moment. For most of us, it requires continual introspection and effort, experimenting with the skills and options related to your personality. Experimenting with the skills and options related to your personality and inclination is not only the single most essential step in developing a high sense of purpose, it is perhaps the most important step in life in general. Knowing in a deep way who you knowing in a deep way who you are, your uniqueness will make it that much easier to avoid all of the other pitfalls of human nature. You will make it that much easier to avoid all of the other pitfalls of human nature. Use resistance and negative spurs. Resistance and negative spurs. The key to success in any field is first developing skills in various areas, which you can later combine in unique and creative ways. But the process of doing so can be tedious and painful as you become aware of your limitation and relative lack of skill. your limitation and relative lack of skill, most people consciously or unconsciously seek to avoid tedium, pain, and any form of adversity. They try to put themselves in place where they will face less criticism and minimize their chance of failure. You must choose to move in the opposite direction. You want to embrace negative experience, limitation, and even pain in the perfect means of building up your skills level and sharpening your sense of purpose. When it comes to exercise, you understand the importance of manageable level of pain and discomfort because they are later yield strength, stamina, and other positive sensations. The same will come to you by actually embracing the stadium in your practice. Frustration is a sign that you are making progress as your mind become aware of higher level of skill that you higher level of skill that you have yet to attain. You want to use and embrace any kind of deadline. If you give yourself a year to finish a project or start up a business, you will generally take a year or more. If you give yourself 3 months, you will finish it that much sooner. And the concentrated energy with which you work will raise your skill level and make the end. If you give yourself 3 months, you will finish it that much sooner, and the concentrated energy with which you work will raise your skill level and make the end result that much better. If necessary, manufacture reasonably tight deadliness to intensify your sense of purpose. Thomas Edison knew he could take far too long to realize his invention, and so he developed the habit of talking about the future generation to journalists, overselling his ideas with publicities. He would now be put in the position of having to make it happen, and relatively soon, or be ridiculed. He would now have to rise to the occasion, and he almost always did. The great 18th century Zen master Hawking took this further. He became greatly frustrated by the particular cones paradoxical anecdotes designed to spark enlightenment presented to him by his master. His lack of progress made him feel desperate, so he told himself in all seriousness, if I fail to master one of these cones in 7 days, I will kill myself. One of these cones days, in 7 days, I will kill myself. This worked for him and kept on working for him. This worked for him and kept on working for him until he attained total enlightenment. As you progress on your path, you will be subject to more and more of people's criticism. Some of them might be constructive and worth paying attention to, but many of them come from envy. You can recognize the latter by the person's emotional tone in expressing their negative opinion. They go a little too far, speak with a bit too much vehemence. They make it personal, instilling doubt about your overall ability, emphasizing your personality more than the work. They lack specific detail about what and how to improve. Once you recognize, the trick is not to internalize this criticism in any form. Once recognized, the trick is not internalize this criticism in any form. Bible, yes, Bible is a book, good holy book. Uh, but after completing Gita, I read Mahabharata. After completing Gita, I will definitely read Bible. Thank you for suggesting. But what so? The purpose is to gain no more and more knowledge about good things. That's the greatest purpose of reading books, no? Did you read the Gita fully? No, I didn't read Gita uh, completely. I read fourth adhyay till fourth adhyay, and there is total 18 or 16th adhyay. I think there is total 18 or 16th adhyay. Apart from all, I read only fourth adhyay. Do you read Gita? Acha, acha. I think I thought that you asked from me that reading all this book, what is the purpose? That's why I told you. After reading few lines, I will told you definitely. जाओ पैर कहाँ जाओ Vedas are indefinitely confusing. Do you read Vedas also? I didn't read Veda yet, na? So I'm not able to give any. So I'm not able to talk about it because I didn't read Vedas. Totally, there's four Vedas, na? Rigved, Yajurved, Arthaved, Samved. That's it. No? It almost as if they don't want the reader to understand them. No, not at all. If the intention is that, then why they wrote those books? If they every author wants that the learner should understand their books. That's why they wrote, no? But we are not capable of reading such hard words. तो कहते हैं हाँ पेमेंट्स ये बाकी है थोड़ी सी बाकी है that's not it that's not it I didn't understand what are you trying to say. Their morality is not consistent. Neither is the Bible or any holy book. Hey, what are you saying? Consistent. Can you explain briefly? So it's easier for me to understand your point of view. purpose. बसंत ह्यूमन नेचर के ऊपर है ये बुक, वही पढ़ रहा है ह्यूमन नेचर के ऊपर। और चैप्टर का नाम है एडवांस विद अ सेंस ऑफ पर्पस। Yeah, definitely. Right. So what? ज़्यादा तो है ये। बड़ी बसंत हम स्टूडेंट हैं, देखो तभी तो बुक लेके बैठे हुए हैं। This purpose is contradictory. Okay. Explain how? Becoming defensive is a high sign they have gotten to you. Instead, instead, use their negative opinion to motivate you and add to your sense of purpose. Absorb purposeful energy. We humans are extremely susceptible to the moods and energy of other people. For this reason, you want to avoid too much contact with those who have a low or false sense of purpose. On the other hand, you always want to try to find and associate with those who have a high sense of purpose. Want to try to find and associate with those who have a high sense of purpose. This could be the perfect mentor or teacher or partner on a project. Such people will tend to bring out the best in you, and you will find it easier and even refreshing the receive their criticism. This was the strategy that brought Coco Channel so much power. She began life from a position of great beginning and often with little or no resources in life. She realized in her early 20s that her calling was to design clothes and to start her own apparel line. She desperately needed guidance, however, particularly when it came to the business side. She looked for people who could help her and her away, and who could help her find her way. At the age of 25, she met the perfect target, a wealthy older businessman named Arthur Boy Capel. She was attracted to his ambition. She was attracted to his ambition. She was attracted to his ambition, his well-renowned experience, his knowledge of the arts, and his ruthless practicality. She latched on to him with great vehemence. He was able to instill in her the confidence that she could become a famous designer. He was able to instill in her the confidence that she could become a famous designer. He taught her about business in general. He offered her tough criticism that she could accept because of her deep respect for him. She could accept because of her deep respect for him. He helped guide he helped guide her in the first important decision in setting up her business. From him, she developed a very honed sense of purpose that she retained her entire life. Without his influence, her path would have been too confusing and difficult. Later in life, she kept returning to this strategy. She found other men and women who had skills she lacked or needed to strengthen social graces, marketing, a nose for cultural trends, and develop relationships that allow her to learn from them. In this case, you want to find people who are pragmatic and not merely those who are charismatic or visionaries. You want their practical advice and to absorb their spirit of getting these things done, and to absorb their spirit to getting things done. If possible, collect around you a group of people from different fields as friends or associated who have similar energy. You will help elevate one another's sense of purpose. Do not settle for virtual association or mentors. They will not have the same effect. Create a ladder of descending goals. Operating with long-term goals will bring you tremendous clarity. Create a ladder of descending goals. Operating with long-term goals will bring you tremendous clarity and resolve. These goals, a project or business to create, for instance, can be readily ambitious enough to bring out the best in you. The problem, however, is that they will also tend to generate anxiety as you look at all you have to do to reach them from the present vantage point. To manage such anxiety, you must create a ladder of smaller goals along the way, reaching down to the present. Such objectives are simpler the further down the ladder you go, and you can realize them in relatively short time frame, giving you moment of satisfaction and a sense of progress. Always break tasks into smaller bites. Always break tasks into smaller bites. Each day or week you must have micro goals. Each day or week you must have micro goals. Always break tasks into smaller bites. Each day, always break tasks into smaller bites. Each day or work you must have micro goals. This will help you focus and avoid entanglement or detours that will waste your energy. Good. Higher when high Dwares. The author never describes what a low purpose or high purpose is. What he means is whatever the reader feels like the purpose is, it's eventually vague and deceptive. Hmm. I understand your point of view. Deceptive. Wherever I didn't say you should do what feels good and be around people that feel and move towards people that feel good. It's a real mistake. Obviously, that's we all are doing, na? We spend time to those people whom we feel good after talking or sitting beside them. So, author saying genuine, na? You also relate to this, na? You don't sit to those people whom your point of view are not matching, uh, whom you are not feeling after talking with them. You're not feeling good. You didn't sit with them. So, author is correct, na? We sit with those people who are good to us. That's not moral or good. Eh? You are not agree with author at this point also. I think this is the normal and basic point author said, no? This point I agree with the author. you, Night. Thank you for everything. But it feels good to hurt people. No, I didn't say that it's good to hurt people. But it is good now. Who hurt us, only for those who hurt us. That's why we treat the same to them. Like tit for tat. We hurt those people who hurt us. Or behave good to those who good for us. But it feels good to hurt. Hi, Arvind. I'm good. How are you? And where are you from? That's contradiction. I think there's a simple thing that the author explained. Na? In this topic, we all agree with the author. Everyone is bad for those people who are bad for us. Like tit for tat. It's a very old debate. Old or new, I don't go on these things. But this is a genuine debate and this is a common things. Thank you, Arvind. Thanks for your compliment. Oh, you are from Haryana. Oh, Haryana from which city? Arvind, I am from Bengal, Kolkata, the city of joy. Okay, guys, thank you for being here. So, we will meet again at this time tomorrow. Till then, take care of yourself. So, city of gold. Oh, like our city is city of joy, and your city is city of gold. Okay, bye. Okay, Arvind, we will talk about it tomorrow. Hi, hi. What are you doing? I'm just, after completing my study, I'm just about to end this live stream. Thank you all for coming and sharing your valuable moment with me. So we will meet. Oh, thank you, Arvind. I heard this word from so many people wherever I go that my face is looking very familiar. But, so can we discuss being funny examination? Somehow yes or somehow no, like that. So can we discuss it tomorrow? Because now the time is out. So we will meet tomorrow and discuss about it. Okay. So thank you for coming, everyone. We will meet tomorrow. Okay. So bye bye. Take care. Ta-da.